No. Now, like I was saying, no, like I was saying before we started, my hatred for these three quarterbacks in particular, Eli Manning, Steve Young, and Troy Aikman, on different levels. So don't make that face because you're gonna listen. The reason why I hate Steve Young is because Randall Cunningham did it better. You want to talk about a Hall of Fame, a quarterback surrounded by Hall of Famers? Not only did Steve Young learn under Joe Montana, who was quite possibly the greatest quarterback of all time, who already had Hall of Fame talent around him, he inherited the same Hall of Fame offense that Montana had to the late 90s until Jerry Rice left. And who did they get to cover up for Jerry Rice? A young T.O., who, by the way, is a Hall of Famer. So don't talk to me about Steve Young. Randall Cunningham did it better with less talent. Now, Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman's hatred stems simply because the fact not only did he have the same situation as Joe Montana and Steve Young, he's a Dallas Cowboy. Now, he's automatically going to be put up on a pedestal, because he's a Cowboy. And the Cowboys haven't won anything since he left. And there was a big gap before he got there where they didn't win anything. So, because of that, people put Aikman on a big pedestal like he's supposed to be in the top 5 Hall of Fame. Did you see Rich Eisner's Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks today? I'm assuming you did because you're not on Instagram as much as I am. You're on Twitter more than I am. I follow Rich Eisner on Instagram. Rich Eisner's Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks were one guy you hate, Tom Brady, which is why this whole conversation started. So thank you for that. We have Peyton Manning, which I understand. Then we have John Elway, and then who was the last person? I can't even remember who it was. It wasn't Marino. It was who was it? Let me go on his page. I can't remember the last person. But those three quarterbacks right there were on his Mount Rushmore.
Well, we were just arguing Eli Manning.
He ain't up there.
Because Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls and you still don't respect it.
Just like Brady won 7 and you don't respect him. Joe Montana. That was his 4th one.
To that same motherfucker.
Joe Montana was his 4th quarterback. And you know who asked how come he wasn't up there? Troy Aikman. Why was Troy Aikman not up there? Because he ain't better than the quarterbacks we just said. I don't care how many rings he got. Terry Bradshaw not better than the quarterbacks we named either. I don't care how many rings he got. Somebody named John Unitas, which stop. You just a historian, which I respect. I respect that.
Hold on now.
I respect that. But listen, wait a minute.
Why you and Automatic Graham has entered the chat?
We ain't talking about him. We're not talking about pre-Super Bowls because they don't count our pre-Super Bowl rings. So we're not going to count that right now in this conversation.
Regardless.
No. The conversation was predicated on Super Bowl titles. You said he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Show him respect. Automatic disqualifies Otto Graham and Johnny U. So shush.
No.
Not in this conversation. No. Not in this. No. Don't move the goalposts. Not in this convo. You want to do this? We're gonna do it. You put it in the pocket, brother. Here we are. I know you love Otto Graham. He got to sit out on this one.
Developed before this argument.
He got to sit out on this one. Now, back to the final thesis of what this conversation was about, which is Eli Manning. Eli Manning sucks. He could not beat Kurt Warner for the job. The only reason he got the job was because Kurt Warner was old and was beaten up. And when Kurt Warner left, he got the Super Bowl before Eli. So no, I don't want to hear it. Eli Manning gets a ring because of a fluke helmet catch, which will never again happen in NFL history, by the way. No. Which will never again happen in NFL history, by the way. Got a great defense who only, a few people on there, which contained Randy Moss, of all people. And Randy Moss still scored. I don't think he scored in that Super Bowl. No. How often does Randy Moss not see the end zone, Carlos? Your favorite receiver. How often does that happen? Very, very low. Yeah, very low. How often does that happen?
You're not going to cut me off?
No, I might cut you off. No, I can't promise you that because I might cut you off. But
go ahead and finish the rant.
Because not only that, he had the luckiest fluke helmet catch of all time. Then he comes back, 4 years later, gets the luckiest catch of all time, and it just so happens to be against Brady. The only thing you give him credit for, without Brady, he'll have 9? Maybe. I think it's the number 8, 9, one of those. So thank him for that. He's still not good. Okay, what you talking about? And he dag sure ain't better than Peyton. So no, because Peyton got 2 too. No, we're not going to let that happen. I will not have Peyton Manning slander with his younger brother on here. Refuse him. Anything you say, I know you're probably going to make some good points, but my point is, if you can reserve hatred for Tom Brady, I can reserve hatred for Eli Manning, especially because he's a giant. So, now you may talk.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Right. Number one, let's start off by saying, again, my hatred for Tom Brady exceeds any rule or criteria that we have for anything that we discuss. Plain and simple. Fuck Tom Brady. And that's the bottom line. Your top tier of hatred for quarterbacks, there's too many of them in that top tier. My top tier, there's only one.
There's 3 separate tiers. So how is it one? So how is it too many? It's 3 separate tiers.
It's 3 separate tiers.
We put quarterbacks in tiers all the time.
Yes.
What are we talking about? The whole basis of best conversation is tiers.
I don't know. Maybe if you listen, I'd be able to explain.
You know what? Go ahead.
All right. Now, we separate quarterbacks into tiers. In this particular conversation, we're separating them in the tiers of quarterbacks that we hate the most, right? Your top tier of quarterbacks that you hate the most, there are too many quarterbacks in that particular tier. I only have one quarterback in my top tier quarterbacks I hate, and then the rest are middle and bottom tier. You understand?
You have your definition of tiers. I have my definition of mine.
You hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but now do you hear what I'm saying?
My connection fucked up.
Do you hear? I hear exactly what you're saying. Do you hear what I'm saying? Your definition of a tier does not define my definition of a tier. Uh-oh.
Go. I can hear you now.
Okay. Your definition of tiers does not define my definition of tiers. You can't put rules on my tiers. You don't have liberty to do that. So therefore,
I don't have liberty over your tiers. I'm not making any rules over your tiers. I'm just saying.
You no.
Have a top tier of a list of quarterbacks in which my top tier is standalone. That's where our tiers differ.
Well, I evaluate each quarterback the same. And if I think you a bum, regardless of what you got, you a bum to me. You are in those tiers.
I understand. But you're not grasping the concept of the fact that.
No, I get it. You have one standalone man that you hate and the rest is equal playing field. I understand. I don't.
Yes. So when I tell you that when we do rules and criterias and arguments on things, you simply can't use me and Tom Brady for the argument anymore, because I just plain and simple fucking hate Tom Brady from the bottom.
Okay. I got something for you. I got something for you. How about you and John Elway?
At this point, John Elway comes second. John Elway's middle tier, bro.
But is he still? But is the hatred for him still high? Yes or no?
You know what? No. Because John Elway knew when to fucking retire.
Okay, I guess they say when more things change, the more they stay the same, huh? Okay. I can't go against change. I understand.
So, like,
Well, my brother, what I'll say to you is
now John Elway, you could definitely get away with. John Elway, we can argue till the cows come home because it's like I hate John Elway, but he's no exception to the rule.
okay. For a minute there, he was right
John
there.
Elway, you'd be like, well, he won 2 Super Bowls. I'd be like, yeah, that's right.
Well, sir, I'll say this to you. You are more progressive than me in this area. Kudos to you. I will not change. This is one of those times I'm dying on this hill.
Well, that's one of the perks of being a realist. Like, you know what you know, and it is what it is, be what it be, and you either accept it or you just simply reject it. It puts a ball in your court in order to make that decision.
I accept it. I'm still here.
Me.
I accept it. I'm still on this hill. Forget Eli Manning. Trash.
But my point is,
you have it. My description of tears is different for yours, and I cannot use Brady for my tears. I got the main point of your argument. I got your lead. Did you get my lead?
Yeah.
What is my lead?
You fucking hate Steve Young, but not as much as you hate Eli Manning, apparently.
Correct. Correct.
I did not know this. You've led me on for the last 3.5 years to think that, you've hated Steve Young more than anything in the world.
Well, that's because my discussion of hatred for Eli Manning has not really come up consistently as Steve Young. You beat the drum for Steve Young a lot. So therefore, that conversation comes up more often than this one. As you can see, my level of reaction went to a whole new level talking about Eli Manning.
We're being honest. Steve Young's accomplishments isn't why he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. That belongs to Joe Montana.
Is it because he's a lefty?
A. B, his style. His play style is exactly how I wanted to play football growing up.
So like Randall Cunningham?
No, because Randall Cunningham was more nimble and more agile. Steve Young bounced off motherfuckers.
Yeah, because Randall Cunningham did it better. And Randall Cunningham bounced off people too.
Yes, I know. They call him Gumby. Do you know why they call him Gumby, Kenny?
I know. I'm just letting you know.
All right, then. No, I know. I already know. But Steve Young was more my style,
Steve Young resembled your playing style more than Randall Cunningham.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Randall Cunningham, are you fucking out of your mind?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Comical.
Randall Cunningham resembles more of how I would love to play. So I understand.
Yeah,
now you see my perspective on how I look at Steve Young, and people don't give Randall the credit that I feel he deserves because he didn't win anything.
Sure, and
when he got to Minnesota with that great offense, what happened to him?
Kenny, it all comes back to A, physical ability personally, and B, me being a realist. Therefore, you understand.
I don't understand, but I don't understand how you're not.
I gravitated more towards Steve Young than Randall Cunningham because Randall Cunningham is like, man, that's fun to watch. I wish I could do some shit like that. And I watch Steve Young and be like, I can do some shit like that. That looks cool.
But you're using this word realist like I'm not one. and I'm really a little sad.
because you're more of an optimist. That's why.
Well, optimism is real. You need to have optimism.
But so
If not, you'll always be angry. I don't want to always be angry. Do I enjoy being angry at people like Eli Manning? Sure. Do I want to stay there? No. That's just part of me loving football. You got your ones you like, got your ones you don't like.
Also, might I add, Drew Bledsoe was like 35, and it was, and just took his second concussion in like 2 seasons. I'd like to throw that out there as well, in regards to your rank. You know what I'm saying?
What does Drew Bledsoe have to do with you hating Tom Brady?
No, because you threw that out when you were talking about Steve Young and Joe Montana. If I'm not mistaken.
I think what about Steve Young and Joe Montana? That he inherited a great offense? Yeah.
No. You said something about old and injured and replacing an old and injured quarterback.
No, I didn't say anybody replacing an old and injured quarterback. I said he inherited a great offense when Montana left.
I wrote this down in my notes, Kenny.
I didn't say that just now. I said he inherited a Hall of Fame offense. I said you want to talk about a player surrounded by Hall of Fame talent. Not only did Steve Young come into a Hall of Fame situation, learning under a Joe Montana, who was already a solidified Hall of Famer, he inherited the same Hall of Fame offense. That's what I said. I didn't say anybody coming in and getting replaced by injury. I did say Kurt Warner was older.
Okay, so
I said Kurt Warner was older.
There we go.
I said Kurt Warner was older. And that was true. He was older. He was older, and he was playing bad. But that don't make Eli good either, because Eli was playing just as bad. And he continued to play.
Story to me. That's all I'm saying.
And he continued to play average throughout his whole career, getting close to as many interceptions as he did touchdowns.
Also, the cherry on top for me and Tom Brady, the great white hype trope. I fucking despise it, bro. I really do.
They did the same thing with Eli in New York. You think it doesn't happen in New York?
Yeah.
That happens in every team.
But that motherfucking Eli Manning, you couldn't take seriously until you actually had to take him seriously. And even then, you didn't really take him seriously. So it's like he just thwarted Tom Brady twice. You know what I'm saying? No fucking big deal, right? Like, oh, he couldn't possibly do it again, and he does it again. You know? It's like, yeah, Eli Manning is goofy as hell. Like, you don't take him seriously, but at the end of the day, he's still a Manning. He's still Peyton's younger brother. And if you don't think that he don't have shit in his own tank like Peyton does, then you were completely mistaken.
No. It's Peyton, Eli, Archie.
Oh, I completely agree. Trust me, I completely agree. You know what I'm saying? I completely agree with you wholeheartedly. However, Eli just showed you for his career that he got something for motherfuckers too. You know what I'm saying? He not just Peyton's little brother or Archie's baby kid. He can actually do something.
That's interesting that you see it like that.
That's how he gained my respect. This motherfucker Tom Brady came in off a shitty quarterback getting a concussion and wins a game. Then you have the motherfucking tuck rule game. That shouldn't have happened. And it makes you wonder, what's this motherfucker's career trajectory if he never made it to that first Super Bowl?
Okay, I can ask that same question. What's Eli's career trajectory if he doesn't get lucky and beats Brady in that Super Bowl?
Yeah, no, he doesn't. I don't think he goes back.
Okay, so
I don't think Eli goes back.
You know what Eli proved to me? Eli proved to me that you can be average and make it a chance to make it to the Hall of Fame.
It took you Eli Manning to prove that?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I witnessed. I was alive to see it, Carlos. I was alive to see Bradshaw be average and have the steel curtain get him to 4 titles. I didn't see that. I barely saw Aikman be average and have Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and a freaking defense that included primetime and freaking what's that D lineman they had? One of them, Charles Haley.
I mean, shit, you ain't watch NFL Fields growing up?
I watched it, but it ain't the same. It's not the same. You don't live. You don't live through that.
Through old games.
What hurts you? Okay, let me ask you this. What hurts you? What hurts you more? Seeing Terry Bradshaw win old games or watching Brady for a career? What pisses you off more?
Brady's full career.
Okay. Why does it piss you off more?
Because I had to sit through it.
Okay. I didn't have to sit through Bradshaw. You know what I had to sit through? Eli Manning. So no.
I want to call my dad and ask him, how is Terry Bradshaw a Hall of Famer in a run heavy?
I can tell you. I can tell you how he's a Hall of Famer in the run heavy year.
If you guys a bullshit spiel about how Terry Bradshaw is.
I can tell you how he's that. Lynn Swann, John Starworth, and Franco Harris.
Wow.
That's how he's that. Lynn Swann, John Starworth, and Franco Harris. Who, by the way, is my cousin. Again, that I've never met, but he's in the family. So,
Terry Bradshaw is shittier than Kurt Warner.
Correct.
Hey, that's funny shit.
Correct.
That's a hilarious revelation.
Correct.
I love slandering old people.
Correct. Now that this fun is over, hanging out, reading down the street.
I also got a quick bone to pick because you try to, bury Otto Graham and motherfucking Johnny Unitas because they were pre-Super Bowl era quarterbacks. And it's like, listen, if the Super Bowl existed, let's put it like this. In their time, the championship game was the Super Bowl.
If we're doing that, Otto Graham is the greatest quarterback of all time.
With that being said, he's the most winningest quarterback of all time. Nobody's
that's what I said. That's what I said. If we're doing that, Otto Graham is the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm not dismissing them. I'm saying in the context of this convo, they don't count.
However, Otto Graham also had Marion Motley. So do without Wilt with that.
Didn't he have Jim Brown too?
No, he did not. Jim Brown came in after Graham retired.
Okay, well, if he stayed a couple years, he would have had Jim Brown too. So that's when the Browns were a factory of greatness. Now they're just mediocre, but they're trying to get back because they're crushing the Bears right now, 23-6.
The Browns?
Yeah, the Browns are whipping the Bears 23-6.
Whew, this is a crazy football season.
And the Bills are destroying the football team 43-14.
Yeah,
I love to see it.
Ranting and raving. I low-key felt bad for my mom because like my mom would just whoop and holler on occasion when she watches the Cowgirls. My dad rants and raves literally throughout the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why he's not talking right now is because he's probably on the receiving end of a phone call. So
there you go.
Or the game's over. So he's changed channel and discuss like, no, he's back to rain. So like, that can score that game, Kenny. Go on.
What score you said? I'm sorry, you broke up a bit.
And tell me the score of the Falcons game.
Oh, last time I saw it was like 6-7. You know who they're playing?
I forget.
The Giants.
Go figure.
Ha! What a tangled web we weave.
I'm not in that web because I got off the Falcons narcotics. Bang bang.
Bang bang. Let's get started.